How do you go about giving a spiritual assessment? Maybe you've thought about offering them. In this video, I'm sharing why someone might want a spiritual assessment and how I structure mine. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell too. That way you'll be notified the next time that I release a new video. I release recordings of my readings so you can see me in action, spiritual how-tos, meditations, and so much more. Why would someone want a spiritual assessment? Because they're ready for clarity, encouragement, guidance, and even direction as it pertains to their spiritual journey and their spiritual gifts as an intuitive and a medium. They are probably also aware of the benefits that you can receive from a spiritual assessment. Assessments can be so helpful in terms of giving you validation. Often, when I've received a spiritual assessment, the medium has been able to validate or affirm things that I've been seeing for myself as my development continues, or things that I've been sensing in any kind of way about my path as a medium. That validation can be so helpful to let you know, yes, I'm on the right track. Yes, I'm understanding how my spirit team is looking to help me develop. I've shared my story before in a YouTube video that my very first spiritual assessment had an incredible piece of advice about starting this YouTube channel, which has been an absolute game changer for me. Sometimes I think, I'm sure I would have started a YouTube channel, but would I have started it as soon? I bought the course 5 years before I used it, which is completely unlike me to invest in any course and not use it right away. But what I realized is that I bought it when I was running an entirely different kind of business, and it wasn't for that business. It was for this one. And I completely understand why my guide said this was a great way for me to go. In the past, I was an online marketing strategist, so creating content and being extremely prolific is something I could probably do in my sleep. This is just an example of some of the guidance that you might receive, although it may not be quite so specific all of the time. The medium can also connect with your spirit team and give you messages and guidance from them as well. I always enjoy when during a spiritual assessment, I get affirmations about things I was wondering about in terms of my path forward, perhaps what course to take next, what part of my abilities to invest in next. And when I give spiritual assessments, I often hear different exercises or mediumship hacks that might be helpful to the person who's getting an assessment from me, and so much more. How does one go about giving a spiritual assessment? I've learned to give an assessment in 2 parts, although I have to say every single spiritual assessment I got was completely different. So it's not that there's a right or a wrong way, as long as you feel that you're delivering that value and giving clarity, guidance, encouragement, etc. So the first part of the assessment is working psychically or intuitively, so that when you're working with your sitter, you're really expanding your aura into theirs and looking in that energetic aura for their spiritual file. So I really like to use a file system when I work intuitively. And I just imagine that there's a whole set of files that goes all the way around their energetic field. And I could just reach out and say, okay, let's look at their relationships. Let's look at their health. But for a spiritual assessment, clearly I'm looking at their spiritual path, their spiritual abilities. And then I'm reading psychically to help give that guidance, encouragement, validation, affirmation that's going to be so powerful for them. You may be able to validate just how far they've come. Look for their potentials, help them to anticipate challenges. Perhaps you could give them exercises or hacks that will help them along the path of their development. And again, when you go to do this first part and work psychically or intuitively, this is the time for you to really think about expanding your aura and your energy outside your body. But then you're going to blend it with their aura. That's what it means to work psychically, to really reach your aura into their space and read them. The second part is about working mediumistically and connecting with their spirit team to give them messages or guidance from their team that will be helpful for them in their development. And also just really anything their spirit team might want them to know. With this, you'll still need to expand your aura, your energetic field, but you're not blending with the sitter. Instead, you're blending with spirit and their spirit team. This is why it's so important for mediums to be able to tell the difference between working intuitively or working psychically. You don't want to be saying that you're giving them a message from their spirit team when really you've dropped down into psychic and you're just reading from their aura. When I give a spiritual assessment, it's usually somewhere between either 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and I split the time in half between those 2 parts. Have you ever given a spiritual assessment? Share below. I'd love to hear from you. If you're interested in strengthening your clairs so you can speak to spirit, Check out my free guide below. It's called 3 Easy Exercises to Strengthen Your Clairs and Speak to Spirit. You can also look into my free training. It's called 3 Essential Practices to Strengthen Your Skills as a Medium. Both links are in my video description below. Go ahead and check out mediumshipwithmel.com if you'd like to book a private reading, a group reading, or you can check out my development circle if you'd like to learn right along with me. Don't forget to check out this video next. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit that bell if you'd like to be notified the next time that I release a new video on all things mediumship.